Let me start off by saying that I hate holding babies. Not that I hate babies. I just think a baby would be crazy to trust me with his or her life. Now let me clear that up. It's not that I'm going to kill the baby. That's weird. I guess I'm just afraid that I'll drop it or squeeze it too hard. It's like I always say, you can kill almost anything with a hug. And for whatever reason I hated babies as a child, I probably hated babies as a baby. I can imagine myself toddling up to a baby and saying, "Look at you, you're a stupid baby." And that baby would probably say, "Well, you're a baby too." And then I would probably say something like, "Screw you, baby." But anyways, I had this friend who also didn't like holding babies. And then one day he had one. And now he loves holding babies. So maybe that's what you gotta do if you don't like something. Just have a baby, and that thing that you don't like, you might like it after that. Which brings me to this one time in front of Carl's Jr. I had just eaten this Superstar, and it was good. And on my way out, I see this pregnant woman. And not only is she pregnant, but she has a little toddler in her arms, and she's also pushing a baby carriage, which is empty, so why didn't she just keep the toddler in the carriage? Who knows? But, so I'm looking at this pregnant woman, and I'm thinking, wow. So as I'm walking to my car, this pregnant woman walks up to me, and I'm thinking, holy crap, she's gonna ask me for spare change. And I would have to give it to her. I think there would be less pressure if someone just mugged you for your spare change. So anyways, she comes up to me and says, "Hi, I need a ride to my house." Apparently, someone was supposed to pick her up at that Carl's Jr. but never did. And that someone is a douche. So what could I say? I mean, she was a pregnant woman. So I said, sure. So she says, "Here, hold this," and hands me her baby. Just like that. All of a sudden, I was holding a baby. A strange baby. And that baby was looking at me, probably wondering, "Who the hell are you?" The woman could sense my discomfort, so she says to me, "Don't worry, he doesn't bite." Of course he doesn't bite. He doesn't have any teeth. But I'm sure if he had teeth, that would be a completely different story. So she folds up the empty stroller, puts it in the back seat of my car. She grabs the baby from me and gets in. And I'm thinking, what? So I get in my car and start driving, and she's giving directions to a kind of shady part of town. She seems really comfortable with all this. Meanwhile, I'm nervous. And I'm so nervous that I think I peed myself. But it was only a couple of drops, I swear. So she directs me to this house, and in the front yard there's about 5 or 6 hoodlums. Like really nasty ones who smoke cigarettes and steal puppies. So I pull up in front of this house, and the whole time these hoodlums are just giving me the stink eye. Like seriously, who unleashed the stink? Needless to say, I was somewhat relieved. This whole thing was almost over. And then the woman hands back the baby to me. And she says, "I gotta run into the house and get something really quick. Can you wait for me?" And what am I gonna say? What the frick? You can't say no. So I say yes. So she runs into the house, and I'm in my car, a complete stranger holding this baby, who looks at me with that same daunting look, probably saying to himself, "You again." And on top of it, these hoodlums in the front yard are dropping the stink hardcore. So I sat there in my car with this baby looking at me as if I were a ghost that had just eaten spinach and had a piece of spinach in my mouth, but he was too afraid to tell me because then I would haunt him. So then these hoodlums start walking to my car and I start freaking out. I'm thinking there's gonna be some sort of brawl. Me and a strange baby versus 5 or 6 hoodlums. I've never been in a fight before, let alone outnumbered with only some stranger's baby to help me. But Then the girl comes out and quickly gets back in the car. She takes her baby and says, "Alright, thanks for waiting." And I'm thinking, you mean thanks for not being a kidnapper? So we escaped the hoodlums, and now I guess I'm taking her back to her house. But I'm not. I'm taking her back to Carl's Jr. Apparently she got a hold of this guy who was supposed to pick her up. Now he's waiting for her. So we got back to Carl's Jr. She gets out, she takes the baby stroller out from the back seat, and she walks away. Doesn't say anything. I guess this whole thing was just one huge misunderstanding, and I got caught in the crossfire. Here's an example of another huge misunderstanding. I'm standing next to a pile of bananas when suddenly a monkey with a bomb strapped to its chest dives into the bananas, and the bananas explode into banana mush, and I'm the one who gets arrested for it. That's a huge misunderstanding. Anyways, I guess I'm glad I was able to help out that lady. I still don't like holding babies.
The chicken minutes. Hey,